A 90-pound Doberman was returned 4 times by 4 different families, and every one of them said the same thing. He was too possessive, too dangerous to keep near a child. But at 3:27 a.m. on a freezing Thursday in February, this so-called monster, the dog nobody would let within 10 feet of a baby, did something that saved an 11-month-old boy asleep in his crib. And what happened in that hallway left 2 grown deputies standing in the kitchen with nothing to say. Rachel Dawson was 27 years old, a new mother on a quiet county road 8 miles outside Cookeville, Tennessee. Her husband, Marcus, drove long-haul freight, gone 3, sometimes 4 nights a week, hauling loads across 2 or 3 states. That left Rachel alone in a small farmhouse with their son, Owen, an 11-month-old with 1 tooth and a laugh that filled a house that felt, on the quiet nights, far too empty. The closest house was half a mile down the road. On a good night, the nearest deputy was 20 minutes away. She wasn't looking for a dog, she was looking for a reason to sleep. 3 homes on their road had been broken into in the last 6 months, every one of them while the husbands were away. Rachel had a baby who slept in a crib under a window that faced nothing but a dark field. She woke at every creak of the floorboards, every gust that rattled the storm door, her heart pounding before her eyes were open. A wired alarm system quoted her $3,800 to install and $52 a month after that. She closed the laptop and stared at the ceiling a while. It was a coworker named Bev who mentioned the dog. There was a Doberman at Cumberland Ridge Rescue, she said. A big one, 90 pounds, jet black and tan, cropped ears, sitting in kennel line for 611 days, returned 4 times. Rachel laughed out loud. "I have a baby, Bev. A 90-pound Doberman? They'll take Owen away from me." Bev just looked at her over her coffee. "Go meet him first, then say no." Kaiser had waited in that kennel for 611 days, while 4 families decided he was too much and sent him back. I still see you haven't subscribed, and honestly, that stings a little. This is a dog everyone looked at and called dangerous, when the truth was the exact opposite. If you believe a dog like that deserves to be seen, hit subscribe. It costs you nothing, and to stories like his, it means everything. Rachel went that Saturday, only to look. His name was Kaiser. He lay in the back corner of the kennel, chin flat on the concrete, a lean black and tan body so still he could have been carved from stone. His file was the same 2 words over and over. Adopted, returned, adopted, returned, adopted, returned, adopted, returned. The shelter manager, a woman named Delia, didn't soften it. The first family said Kaiser guarded their toddler so hard he wouldn't let the grandmother pick her up. The second panicked the first time he planted himself between their newborn and the front door. The third lasted 9 days. The fourth didn't fill out a form at all. They opened a truck door at the gate at dawn and drove off. "He's never bitten a soul," Delia said. "Not 1 bite in his file. He just decides who he's protecting and then he will not let anyone near them. People watch a 90-pound Doberman do that and they get scared. They never ask why." Kaiser lifted his head and held her eyes, and something in that tired look reminded her of the way Owen watched the door every evening, waiting for someone to come home. She signed the papers that afternoon. The first time Kaiser saw Owen, Rachel held her breath. Owen sat on the rug, gripping a blue rubber ball, staring up at 90 pounds of dog in the doorway. Kaiser walked in slow, lowered his huge head, and breathed in the baby's hair, his hands, his bare feet. Owen closed a fat little fist around one cropped ear. Kaiser didn't flinch. He lay down beside the baby, folded his paws under his chest, and stayed there 4 hours without lifting his head once. By the 3rd day, the rules were his. Kaiser slept in the hallway exactly 18 inches from the nursery door, facing the back of the house. Not the couch, not the foot of Rachel's bed, the hallway. Every morning, he carried Owen's left sock, only ever the left, to the kitchen and set it beside his food bowl, as if breakfast were a trade. He drooled a puddle the exact size of a dinner plate at every meal, and Rachel accepted it as part of the floor now. And here was the thing that frightened everyone who came by. Kaiser would not let anyone near Owen. When Marcus came home Friday nights, Kaiser put himself between the crib and his own owner for the first 10 minutes every time until he decided Marcus was allowed. When Rachel's mother reached for the baby, he stepped in front of her, silent, unmoving, until Rachel said his name. "That dog is dangerous," her mother told her on the phone. "You have a 90-pound animal deciding whether I can hold my own grandson." But something else was happening in that farmhouse. For the first time in almost a year, Rachel was sleeping. She had fought anxiety since Owen was born, lying awake on the nights Marcus was gone, running through every sound the house made. Kaiser fixed it without trying. He slept in the hallway with his slow, deep, steady breathing, and that sound, more than any lock or light, finally let her mind go quiet. She needed 90 pounds of dog breathing in the dark like a tide going out. Slowly, one small moment at a time, the dog 4 families had returned became the quiet center of the whole house. Some stories are too good to keep to yourself, and Kaiser was already writing his. Then, 3 nights before the middle of February, he started doing something new. Every evening around 11 p.m., Kaiser walked from the hallway to the window at the back of the living room, the one that looked over the dark field, and stood there with his eyes on the tree line for the better part of an hour. Rachel told herself it was a coyote or a deer. By the second night, he wouldn't eat his dinner until he had checked that window first. By the third night, he would not leave the strip of hallway between the back door and Owen's room. He wasn't pacing, he was posted. The same dog 4 families returned. The same dog everyone called too possessive, too intense, too dangerous to have near a child. The same dog Rachel's own mother swore she could not trust. On the night of the 14th at 3:27 a.m., every warning anyone had ever given her turned out to be exactly wrong. Rachel was deep in sleep when Kaiser started barking. Not the low, lazy warning she had heard 100 times. This was sharp, enormous, relentless, a sound she had never once heard him make, a sound that put her upright before she was even awake. She could hear all 90 pounds of him slamming against the hallway wall. Owen was screaming in his crib. Rachel grabbed her phone and ran. Kaiser stood at the mouth of the hallway, hackles up the length of his spine, his body angled toward the back of the house. Rachel looked past him into the dark living room, and her stomach dropped through the floor. A man was at the back door, hood up, one gloved hand on the handle. He had already cut a slit through the screen and had his arm pushed through, feeling for the lock. She snatched Owen out of the crib and pressed him to her chest. She did not scream, she did not move. With shaking hands, she dialed 911, and the whole time, Kaiser held his ground, teeth bared, eyes locked on that door, 90 pounds of black silence between the intruder and her son. The man looked up through the glass and saw the dog. Kaiser did not bark again. He didn't have to. He just stood there, absolutely still, every sharp angle of him lit hard by the porch light. The man ripped his arm back through the screen so fast he tore his sleeve and he ran. He left a roll of duct tape and one black glove on the back step. Rachel stayed on the kitchen floor with Owen in her lap until the blue lights came up the gravel drive. The deputies were there in 9 minutes. Behind the property, they found fresh tire tracks pulled into the grass. In a bag by the fence, they found zip ties, a flashlight, and a folded paper with 3 addresses on it. Rachel's was the second. 2 other homes on the road had been hit that same night while the husbands were away. One woman was tied up in her own bathroom, the other taken to the hospital. The one house he ran from was the house with a 90-pound Doberman in the hallway. A deputy crouched down, looked at Kaiser a long moment, and said the only thing anyone needed to hear: "If this dog hadn't been in the house, ma'am, we'd be having a very different conversation right now." Rachel's mother drove out the next morning. She watched Kaiser lying with his chin 2 inches from Owen's high chair while the baby smeared banana across the tray, and she began to cry. "I was so wrong about him. I was so scared, and I was so wrong." She never again asked to hold Owen over the dog's objection. When Kaiser stepped aside for her now, she understood it was a gift. The story went around Cookeville for a week. Cumberland Ridge Rescue took in 39 adoption applications, families driving in from 3 counties over, asking for the dogs nobody else would look at twice. Today, Kaiser is 6 years old, Owen is 2, and he still can't fall asleep unless the big dog is stretched out beside his bed. Kaiser still steals the left sock every morning. He still puts himself between Owen and the door whenever a stranger comes up the drive, the way he did the night it mattered most. When people ask Rachel if she's afraid to keep a 90-pound Doberman around her toddler, she doesn't argue. She just shows them the folded paper the deputies photographed and the crayon drawing Owen taped to the fridge last month: a stick figure baby, a stick figure mom, and a tall black dog with pointed ears standing in front of them like a wall. When a dog stands at a window too long, don't call him paranoid. When he refuses to let anyone near your child, don't call him dangerous. Sometimes the ones the world names monsters are the only ones watching closely enough to see what's coming, and the very thing everyone told you to fear is the thing that keeps your family alive. Kaiser never needed training to guard the people he loved. He only needed one person willing to open a door and let him stay. Was Kaiser born a guardian, or did an 11-month-old boy make him one? Tell me in the comments. And if you've ever taken in a dog the world gave up on, tell his story below, because somebody scrolling tonight needs to read it.